What is going on, guys? Evan here from Evan Sports Corner back with another live stream here on the channel. Today, got a huge matchup in the AFC conference between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans. 7-5 Texans, 6-6 Chiefs. Both teams right outside that, right in the hunt, right outside those final spots in the AFC. For Kansas City, gotta think this is a must-win game for them, man. I mean, they were able to beat Indianapolis a couple weeks ago, lost to the Cowboys in that pivotal Thanksgiving Day game, and now here you are. This is a huge game. I mean, they got to win this one. Houston's a team that they'll be competing with in the hunt. I mean, Kansas City's got to be able to rack up some tiebreakers over these teams. The Texans have been one of the hottest teams in the NFL. I mean, D'Amico Ryan's got them boys playing hard. Their defense is elite. I mean, I streamed their game last week. I was here commentating the game last week, and they beat the Colts on the road. I mean, that's a team that's just been playing some really good football lately. Their defense is the best in the NFL right now. I don't even think that's really up for debate. Their defense has been incredible, and this is going to be a good one today. I'm interested to see how it goes. But for the Texans, they'll get their strong unit on the field first. It'll be Kansas City's football to start this one. And here we go. Game is underway. Chiefs start with it. Brashard Smith back to return for Kansas City. Or that's Sky Moore? This is Smith. Either way, Kansas City is going to start with the football after the return. And here comes Patrick Mahomes. We've seen Mahomes play really well at times this year. He played great against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, but they were not able to come away with a victory that day. Now here today, though, they desperately need a win if they want to, really seriously stay in this hunt. Here we go. 1st and 10 for Kansas City from their own 33-yard line. It's Mahomes. It's a handoff to Isaiah Pacheco up the middle. He'll get a few yards before being brought down by this stout front of the Houston Texans. I mean, you're looking at one of the best in the league. Will Anderson Jr. is an absolute monster. You got Danielle Hunter on the other side, a beast. You got a good linebacking core with Azeez Al-Shaair. He's always in the mix making plays. And then the secondary, you got one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL in Derek Stingley. The hard-hitting safety, Jalen Petrie. There's just so many great players on that defense. This is not good for Kansas City, though. Wanya Morris, the offensive tackle, down on the ground right now. And Mahomes is already down on a knee. This does not look good. This does not look good for Kansas City as Morris is down. You hate to see this kind of thing, man. Gosh, dude. He's obviously in a lot of pain. I saw him go down. I was hoping he was going to get back up quickly, but it has not happened, and that's just, man, I hate that, dude. I hate that so much. This was Wanya Morris' first start of the year for Kansas City. And on the first play, he goes down. I mean, I feel so bad. I hate it, man. I really do. Boston prayers to Morris. Oh, gosh, man. So he's being helped off the field by the training staff here. And he is just in a lot of pain right now. It looks like he can barely put any pressure. I'm assuming it's a leg injury. I don't know, but that's just tough. Kansas City's going to have to quickly respond and quickly get back there. The Chiefs already don't have Trey Smith and Jawan Taylor and Josh Simmons. It's multiple offensive line starters. They've been dealing with it's been kind of a revolving door at that position. Halfback draw on 2nd and 7 to Pacheco. He's going to be tackled there by Hunter and Togai in the middle. But yeah, just the Chiefs' offensive line is already dealing with a lot, and then you lose Morris early on in the game, and yeah, I mean they're already thin, so I mean, offensive line's one of those things where it's like, man, it can disrupt the entire flow of the offense, losing multiple guys. Speaking of a team that did lose someone extremely important today, though, Daniel Jones officially undergoing Achilles surgery, which, again, got to feel for him, man. That sucks. 3rd and 4 here for Mahomes in Kansas City, and that pass is incomplete over the middle, as I think it was intended for Noah Gray. Kamari Lassiter did not do a very. I don't think he did a very good job here. And so here was the route. Lassiter just allowed the inside and slipped up. That was bad coverage. He slipped, and this ball hits Noah Gray right in the hands, but it goes through him. And Kansas City is going to be forced to punt the football here. Matt Ariza will punt to Jalen Noel for the Iowa State return man. Ariza has an absolute rocket of a leg, and that one is going to be down inside the 15. And so Houston will get the ball now. 3 and out for Kansas City on the opening drive, and they get even thinner at offensive line. And here comes this Texans offense. They're led by their quarterback, C.J. Stroud. The receivers aren't exactly what you'd call superstars. They got talent, though. Nico Collins is a very good receiver. And then you got a bunch of other guys like Christian Kirk, Jalen Noel, Xavier Hutchinson, a lot of Iowa State guys out there. And then, of course, you have Cade Stover, who's getting more involved, and then a running back, Woody Marks, and Nick Chubb. Woody Marks gets more carries, though, than Nick Chubb. But, yeah, Woody Marks is the lead back for this Texans team, who's going to start down inside the 15. They'll start at their own 13. It's C.J. Stroud under center, Stover in motion, and they'll hand it off to Marks, who finds a crease, and Woody's going to get 6 yards, I believe, out of that carry. So Stroud played just well enough to win against Indianapolis last week. He's missed a few weeks with a concussion. Last week was his first game back. He made some questionable decisions. But with a defense like Houston's, Stroud doesn't have to play perfect. 11 touchdowns to 6 interceptions on the season. Obviously not as good as that elite rookie campaign. Stroud hasn't really had that same type of success. If you guys are listening, though, be sure to click the subscribe button. It really helps out this YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it if you click the sub button and leave a like and comment down below in the chat. 2nd down and 4. Another handoff. It's Marks bouncing around, goes straight through the middle. And Woody, he'll be a couple yards short, I think. So Kansas City's defense had a really tough time against the Dallas Cowboys, against my Cowboys on Thanksgiving Day. It was rough. They gave up a 43-yard rushing touchdown to Malik Davis, along with letting Dak Prescott dice them up. CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens had great games. Now, if you're Houston, this match against Houston doesn't have the same type of playmakers that Dallas does. Definitely a worse offensive line than us as well. As here's a 3rd down and 1 from the 22. They're going to go to another run up the middle. It's going to be a 1st down. Marks picks it up. Karlaftis tried to shoot it there, but he was not able to make that play. But yeah, obviously, Nico Collins is a very good player, but aside from him, the weapons aren't elite, like Pickens and Lamb, who had great days. Lamb dominated Trent McDuffie, who's the 6th-ranked cornerback according to PFF. You got Brian Cook, Jamari Conner, Jalen Watson. The Chiefs secondary has some pretty good players, at least based off their PFF grades. And we know Trent McDuffie has been one of the better corners in the NFL for a while. So here we go. 1st down and 10 from the 24. After the Marks 1st down, they went 3 straight runs. Now Stroud will drop back. Looking left, pass is caught. And it was a heavily contested window there as Christian Kirk called that one in. 2nd down coming up. So that's Stroud's first completion of the day. It's a cold day out in Kansas City. Obviously, the Texans are used to the nice indoor conditions at NRG Stadium in Houston. But, C.J. Stroud also played Big Ten football. He played in the cold environments, so he should be ready. He should be adequately prepared for a game like this, no doubt about it. 2nd down and 4. They're now at around the 30. And Stroud bootlegs out to the right. He looks like he's going to take off. He's able to get a couple yards out of that play right there. Missed tackle from Kansas City, who did not do a great job containing. There is a flag down, though. And we'll see what this flag is. I'm going to assume it's a hold, but we'll see. Officials are talking it over. Oh, wow. So it's actually going to be a holding call on the defense. Nick Bolton, the linebacker, gets hit with the hold. By the way, if you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Nick Bolton gets hit with this holding call, so he will be... he got hit with the holding call against... Who's that? Is that Hutchinson? So Bolton has the most tackles on the team with 100, 5 TFLs, 5 pass deflections, and a forced fumble. He's been a good linebacker this year for Kansas City, one of the leaders of their defense. But he gives Houston new life. 1st and 10. Stroud stepping up. He's going to be taken down for a sack. Another flag is down. Tillery and Galad got in there and made the play. What's the flag this time, though? Usually when you see big-time pressure from Kansas City, it's Chris Jones, but not in this case. This flag is going to be a hold on the Houston Texans, though, and the Chiefs will decline the penalty and bring up a 2nd down and 11. So it was on Ariante Ursary, who was a 2nd-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft out of Minnesota. He's going against Tillery here in the middle, and he gets a hold. Is that him right there? Interesting. Yeah. 2nd down and 11 after the 1-yard loss, and it'll be another handoff. It's Woody Marks bouncing around. He gets a couple yards. Karlaftis gets him down, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Houston Texans offense, which, again, not the most explosive of units. Again, last week against the Colts, the Texans played a very defensive game. Their offense didn't do too much, but C.J. Stroud made some throws here and there that got the job done, and that's what won them that game. Just timely plays here and there. And it would be good to convert a 3rd down early on in this game and not let the Arrowhead crowd get into this. So we'll see what happens on 3rd down. Chiefs defense has one of the better 3rd down conversion rates in the NFL. Here we go. 3rd and 8 for Stroud. Chiefs send some pressure. Jones got through. Stroud's pass is low and incomplete. Collins the intended target. Brian Cook was in the area. 4th down and 8. And that's Chris Jones being Chris Jones. So here was the play right here. It's Chris Jones against this Texans offensive line. This is definitely a big mismatch. We know Chris Jones is an elite player. He immediately gets through, forces Stroud to move around in the pocket, and again, definitely affects the throw. This ball was low and behind Nico Collins. And Houston now will punt the football. So this one's going back to Kansas City. Will it be returned? As Xavier Worthy was back there, he'll just fair catch it. And Mahomes coming back out onto the field with a scoreless football game right now. So there you go. There you go. It's a scoreless football game right now. Both offenses weren't able to get the job done. And on their opening possessions, I mean, Houston came out, was able to get had a little success with Woody Marks early on, but then after that, nothing. I mean, I think it's going to be tough for them to pass the football today. Kansas City's is getting pressure already. If you are listening, by the way, be sure to click the subscribe button. Kansas City's just already dominating at the line of scrimmage. They're beating Houston's offensive line all day right now on these passing plays. I mean, Stroud's under pressure. He's probably going to be under pressure most of the night. I just don't think they're going to be able to consistently block George Karlaftis and Chris Jones. I just don't see that being a matchup that goes in Houston's favor. They're going to have to scheme around that for sure. As for the Chiefs, they got to play with some desperation tonight. Look, you're 6-6. This is not, like the college football playoff where you can try to make a case for the playoff just because you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to earn your spot. You got to win the games that you got to win at the end of the day. So they got to play with a lot of desperation today. They're at home. They got the crowd behind them. They just really got to go out there and execute. And that opening drive didn't go well for them. Both teams are definitely going to be struggling up front today. I think both teams, it's going to be a low-scoring game because both teams are definitely going to have a lot of time pass protecting. I think that's going to be Houston. Obviously, that's their strength. Their defensive line is really good. Their defense as a whole is great, but especially their front, they're going to have a good day against a weakened Chiefs offensive line. And it's the same way on Houston's offensive side. I think Stroud's going to have some trouble. If you wanted me to make a prediction, I'd bet on KC winning this game. They're at home. Mahomes is the better quarterback. I think he'll be able to adapt and overcome. I think he'll be able to overcome his offensive line deficiencies more than Stroud will be able to in this one. But two good defensive coordinators as well. You got DeMeco Ryans the head coach, but DeMeco Ryans' defense, Steve Spagnuolo's defense, it's a lot of good. There's some really good. It's gonna be a really interesting chess match today. But yeah, I definitely, if I had to choose, if I was a betting man, I'd be betting on KC, the home team, to win this one and cover the spread probably too. 1st and 10, Mahomes out to Xavier Worthy. He's a dangerous man with that speed, and he's got a first down there on that little screen pass. So, again, but Houston has been very hot lately. So they've listed Wanya Morris as questionable to return with a knee injury, and so they got Esa Pole making his NFL debut, an undrafted free agent in right now, and they're immediately going to go to Rashee Rice on a screen pass. So Kansas City making it clear what their intentions are this drive. Get the ball to your playmakers quickly. Don't give Will Anderson. Don't give Danielle Hunter, and even Sheldon Rankins having a really good year. Don't give those guys a chance to wreak havoc in the passing game. Do not give either of those guys a chance to make a play in the passing game. As Petrie's the second-ranked safety, and then they got Lassiter too. I mean, man, that's a loaded team. That secondary is elite. Here's a handoff to Pacheco, and up the middle, Houston shuts that run play down. So, yeah, I mean, the matchup definitely just favors Houston on the interior with that, and just on the offensive line as a whole, they're going to really dominate. Which is why Andy Reid and Matt Nagy are definitely scheming it that way. Like, hey, let's get Worthy the ball on a quick screen. Let's get Rice the ball on a quick screen. I mean, that's the play. I mean, I just don't see Kansas City being able to push the ball vertically down the field as much with this offensive line. 3rd and 4, Mahomes' pass is batted up at the line. Mahomes caught his own pass, and he ends up getting taken down way back in the backfield by Will Anderson. So Mahomes tried to make a legendary play there, but again, if you catch your own batted pass, you can't throw it again. That's just not how it works. And Mahomes, I mean, there was really nothing he could do here. So just some pushback there in the offensive line, and then a nice deflection from Houston on that play. And then Mahomes is able to end up with it in his hands, and he goes down with a big loss. And now they'll have to punt for the second time today. Arises back out to send this one away, and Houston is going to have a chance to return this. It's Knoll, the Iowa State wide receiver, on the return, a decent return. That's what this game is going to be all about. It's going to be all about field position, because we know that both of these offensive lines stink. Both of these defenses have good fronts. So you know that's what it's going to be about. It's going to be about who wins up front and who wins the field position battles. So the returners are going to have to do their thing. We know how explosive Xavier Worthy is. Jalen Knoll, solid return there. It's going to be one of those games, man. It really is going to be one of those games where it's like, whose defense breaks first? But that punt will give Houston the football back, and they'll start their second drive of the game here in a moment. But there you go. That is the start of this game. So if y'all are listening again, if you enjoy what you're listening to, leave a like, click the subscribe button. Streaming content is going to be coming at you in these next couple weeks a lot. I've been having a good time these last couple weeks. The college football playoffs are around the corner in a couple weeks. I'm going to be streaming as many of those games as I possibly can. Same thing with NFL. Playoff season's getting closer. Big matchups down the stretch. So, yeah. Definitely be sure to click the subscribe button if you want to listen in the future. So Houston will start with the football at their own 36. But just to talk about the Daniel Jones thing again, just an absolute killer once again. Absolute killer to the Indianapolis Colts. So, yeah, Anthony Richardson remains on injured reserve due to a fractured orbital bone, which means Riley Leonard, who was the guy who came in today for Daniel Jones, he's their only healthy quarterback on the roster. And Riley Leonard, if that name sounds familiar, he was Notre Dame's starting quarterback last season when they made the national championship. Riley Leonard, not the greatest thrower of the football, but he is very good at running. He's very mobile. So that's one thing about Riley Leonard. Notre Dame had a very good offensive scheme with him last year. More of a product of a great run game and having Jeremiah freaking Love in the backfield along with Jadarian Price, probably one of the best running back duos in the nation last year. And Notre Dame had a very good offense. But the Colts have Jonathan Taylor. We know their offense goes through him and goes through their offensive line. So if Leonard can just make the throws that are necessary, the Colts should be able to stay afloat as the season goes on. But it's probably going to be an uphill battle for Indianapolis to win the Super Bowl at this point. They've been sliding a bit. They lost to KC. They lost to Houston. They're definitely sliding, and that AFC South, it's up for grabs. It's 100% up for grabs at this point right now. I mean, it looked like it was going to be clear-cut in Indianapolis not too long ago, but now you're looking at it. Jacksonville's in first place at 9-4. Houston at 7-5 could even it up today with Indianapolis. Here's C.J. Stroud has a clean pocket, going deep, down the field. Oh, it is hauled in. A deep ball to Nico Collins. Stroud had all day. Collins with a big-time reception. It was an underthrown ball. But it is a great catch by Nico here, who had to come back to it. And I think is Trent McDuffie okay? This is a great job by Collins to run by McDuffie. That's a great catch. Good concentration. Just elite. That's a great throw. So we have a game break here. I think something happened to Trent McDuffie. I'm going to strongly assume. I saw him down. Again, just Kansas City's they've been riddled by injury quite a lot this year. And McDuffie, obviously one of their best players on the whole roster. He goes down here. So that is just, man, that sucks. Once again, it really does suck. They've been very unlucky. But great play by Nico Collins there. Again, kind of an underthrown ball from Stroud, but it didn't matter because Collins went up and got it. Strong hands, great play. That's just what Nico Collins does. Where did Nico Collins go to college? It's like bad ball knowledge. I don't know this. I'll see it and I'll immediately know. Like, oh, yeah, I know where you went. He's become a legit wide receiver. Michigan. Okay, that's right. Michigan. Yeah, Nico. So we got the Ohio State versus the Ohio State quarterback thrown to the Michigan wideouts. Interesting. I'm sure they have a lot of fun the week of the big game. Anyways, yeah, so, just unfortunate for Kansas City. Again, they've dealt with the injuries. Worthy got knocked out the first week of the season by Kelsey. You had just a very unfortunate play there. Rashee Rice being suspended has nothing to do with injury. That's just him being an idiot. You've had the offensive line injuries. It's stuff like that. It's been really unfortunate. Gotta feel for them. But the Chiefs have been really successful, so I don't feel bad for their fans like that. I feel bad for the guys, though. If you are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Houston is set up in prime position. And again, in a game like this where I feel like it's just really going to be a points come at a premium type of deal. Whose defense is going to break first? And right now it looks like it's going to be KC's. So we'll see if Houston is able to make something happen, though, obviously. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they can pull off here. But sincerely, I don't know. Whether it's on Kelsey, I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be tough. So here we go. First and 10. Toss out to Woody Marks. He cuts back. Marks runs tough and picks about 7 yards on that play. So what's up with McDuffie here? Yeah, the training staff looking at McDuffie took an odd step into the ground. And so Kansas City's now got some backups in the game here. Second down and 3 from the Kansas City 14. Schultz in motion. Stroud tosses it out to Marks to the left side, and Marks is stuffed in the backfield. Third down coming up. Again, both offensive lines aren't exactly what I'd call steamrollers. They don't exactly pave the way for their running backs. And right there, Woody Marks had nowhere to go on the toss after actually a pretty good 7-yard run. McDuffie's on the sideline jogging around, testing to see if he's going to be able to come back into this game, which at least is a positive sign that he's not too banged up because he is jogging it off here. Third down and 5 from the 16, though. Knoll in motion. We'll see what Stroud can do. Looking on the slant. Pass is caught. Over the middle. Touchdown Texans. A flag is down. If it stands, Schultz is going to score. We'll see what the flag is, though. It might be an offensive pass interference. Oh, legal shift. Okay. Wow. It might be an offensive way for their running back. If he's going to be able to come back into this game, which at least is a pop. Stroud can do. That's a big penalty. So they get an illegal shift call on Houston here, which negates the touchdown from Dalton Schultz. Good play call, good execution, except for that little pre-snap penalty. And now we have a 3rd down and 10. Or penalty regardless. 3rd and 10 now. Can Kansas City's defense hold strong here and force a field goal? Stroud dropping back. Jones coming in. He's got to roll out. Throw underneath. Pass caught. And it's going to be a lunge for the line. Going to be close. Higgins will be marked about a yard short, though, it looks like. That was very close to being a first down. Very close to being a huge conversion early on in this game on that 3rd down. Good job by Stroud here. I mean, Chris Jones just bullies his way into the interior. Stroud throws this one a little late. He was rolling out, focusing on getting out, and it looks like, wow, okay, so they actually went back, and they're gonna give him, the first down. I thought they just showed the replay, and it looked like his left foot may have been out of bounds short of the first down. We'll see right there. The foot might be down. He's about a yard short. And I think Andy Reid is going to challenge this play. And with this challenge, Kansas City is going to... Kansas City is going to probably get Houston to a 4th and 1. So, yeah, I think it was a good effort by Stroud and Higgins there. And Higgins he made a great effort to dive for it, but that foot just stepped out. Oh, okay. So, they just, replay assist came in and helped him out here. So, Kansas City is actually not even going to be charged a timeout, which they shouldn't have been. It wasn't a 50-50 call. It was pretty obvious that he was short. Upon review. On the field, that's a tough call to make. His foot barely touched the ground. But with replay assist, it's an easy, quick change. Kansas City does not get charged a timeout, which means 4th down and 1 for Houston. 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Again, a game where it's all about defense. Who's going to flinch first? They got the big play to Collins. Coming away with no points would be very detrimental. 4th down and 1. They got Chubb in the game here. Chris Jones in the middle. He's already wreaking havoc early on in this game, especially in the pass rush. But can he make a play in the run game if they go to big dog Nick Chubb? Here we go. So here we go. It's going to be a Wildcat QB sneak with Cade Stover. And did he get there? Yes, he did. Texans do like to run that play. A flag apparently is down, though. Wow, it's on the Texans. Wow. I think it's going to probably be a false start or something like that. Nothing official yet, but strongly assume that's what the call will be. Oh, wow. So Kansas City had an offensive lineman, Ursery, the second round pick, lined up in the neutral zone here. And he was lined up in the neutral zone. And so Stover did a good job finding the hole and going to it and getting the first down, but lined up in the neutral zone. Officials looking down the line closely there. He sees it. He pulls the flag out, and there you go. It's just unfortunate. And again, in a play like that, they're officiating it. They've been told to officiate it closely. They've been told to look for the little things, anything like that. With the Eagles tush push being so controversial, Texans have been running their own variation of it. Here's Fairbairn from 35, knocks it through, and Houston does get the first points of the night, 3-0 lead over Kansas City, but could have had 7. And again, hitting a big play to Nico Collins, the expectation probably was you wanted to get 7 there, but again, you messed it up, man. I mean, multiple penalties on that drive backed you up, and eventually you get hit with a 4th and 1. It was a good play call. So I think they ran that against the Colts last week too, where they had Stover in as like a wildcat quarterback, and then they pushed him. They ran a little tush push. If you guys are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Strong start to the game though for the Texans defense. And again, good to see Nico Collins out there making plays early on as well. Nico Collins, that was a big play. He needed that. Needed a spark. So we will see how this game transpires. Because, like I said, I just strongly doubt this game's going to be high scoring at all. It's not going to be high scoring or anything like that. No way. It'll probably be, yeah, no, it will not be high scoring. Hmm. All right, so here we go. It'll be Kansas City fielding this return, and it's not going too well. Getting across the 20, It was a pretty decent amount of field position, though, as Smith on the return did not get a whole lot there. And again, I talked about this. They're showing a graphic right now. The Chiefs are definitely running out of time. They've made the playoffs 10 years in a row. They've won 9 straight division titles. They've made the AFC Championship game 7 years in a row. And they've been in the Super Bowl 3 years in a row. And all those streaks could come to a close this year with with them potentially not even making the playoffs. I mean, you just look at Kansas City. Again, I watched them up close in the Cowboys game a couple weeks ago. They're still a solid team. They just haven't been as clutch as they've been in recent years. There's Mahomes running to his right, picking up the first down, I think. Yeah, I think he got the first down there on that rollout. They still have the capabilities to win and even make a playoff run. I mean, again, Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs is a dangerous man. And if Kansas City does find a way to get into the playoffs this year, well, they're a threat because of Patrick Mahomes, and they still have good players like Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy on offense. Here's a second and inches. It's another handoff up the middle. I think it's Pacheco. I mean, they're still a threat to make something happen. But the problem with the Chiefs is they just haven't been consistent. They've had bad games. They make a lot of mistakes they haven't made in recent years. Defense isn't quite as tight as it's been. And the offensive line has dealt with a lot of injuries, which has made life difficult for Patrick Mahomes and their run game. So, first and 10 for Kansas City, though. They're moving the ball in this drive. Mahomes rolling out. Has a lot of time. Now he's got to step up and run. And here goes Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be marked just short of the first down with that slide. So, we'll see what Kansas City does here. They try to go a little more up-tempo or something to get this elite Houston defense on their toes, because they've been dominating early on in this game. But Mahomes does a great job here. Nothing open except for that one underneath throw. He could have thrown that, but he decided to take off himself, and I think that's what Mahomes' best ability is here's Pacheco, bounces it back inside, picks up the first down across midfield. His ability to make something out of nothing and extend plays. He's good enough with his legs to be able to be a scrambling threat, but he's also a very, he's one of the best throw on the run, create play guys you've ever seen. Kareem Hunt's in the game. I haven't really seen him in just yet, but he's in here as the Chiefs are across midfield, and it's going to be Hunt getting his first carry of the day, and he's going to be stuffed up here. 3-yard gain on that carry, so him and Pacheco both get some work in. Hunt primarily used at the goal line, though. Again, this AFC playoff race is wide open. Again, I could see Indianapolis completely dropping out of the race at some point with Riley Leonard if they're not able to get an offense suited around him. Because, Daniel Jones ain't coming back with that Achilles injury. That Colts schedule down the stretch, they're looking at the Second down and 8. Mahomes pressured, and he is sacked. Togiai with the big sack right there. Mahomes is complaining about something, but it's a big play right there. One-on-one matchup on the interior, and Creed Humphrey can't help out. He does a great job with his block, but Togiai gets a free matchup here on this right side. I think it's the undrafted rookie he went against, and he loses pretty bad. Or maybe it wasn't the undrafted rookie. I'm not sure, but either way, he won a matchup there pretty easily. 3rd and 17 now for KC. A once promising drive is now in trouble. They throw a screen to Rashee Rice, and he will be falling forward to about the Houston 48-yard line, and Kansas City's going to have to punt once again. So an offensive drive that had some legs to it eventually fell apart because of this Houston front 7 doing their job. And with 10 seconds left, I think Kansas City will take this to the first quarter break and punt the ball to start the second quarter. There's only 4 seconds left on the clock here, and yeah, that'll do it. So, first quarter comes to a close here in this game. Texans lead 3-0, and they'll get the ball back after Kansas City punts. So both teams' defensive lines are doing great, but Houston was able to hit the big play. So both teams' defensive lines are doing great. Oh man, what a start for Houston's defense. I mean, they're. I think that's. I said I thought KC was gonna win because of their defense or because of Mahomes, and I still think that they can pull this off. But right now, Houston's just looking like the superior team. Um, Houston's defense is man. Those dudes are good, and you get a hobbled Kansas City offensive line to go with it. Just makes the job easier. Point I was trying to make though before I was interrupted by the game. Indianapolis. This schedule down the stretch is brutal for them. You got the Seahawks, who are arguably the best team in the NFL right now, or at least at minimum a top 3 to 5 team in the league. They've been dominant. Indianapolis takes them on next week. Then you got a matchup with the San Francisco 49ers. Another team went 9-4 on the season. Very good team. Then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 9-4, first place in the AFC South. And then to wrap up the season, Houston again on the road this time. There is a very high possibility that the Colts lose out, which again really sucks. That schedule was already going to be an uphill battle for them, but then you got Daniel Jones out. I mean, I don't know, dude. I feel bad because I like the Colts are a cool team, man. They've got a great season. As I think Houston got called for running into the kicker here, which is one of the dumbest penalties you can get called for. Huh. That is true. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I forgot the Colts traded. Man. Chiefs are going to decline the penalty here. Um, man, I just. Wow. That's that sucks. Well, I forgot that the Colts were the most like aggressive team at the deadline, and they traded for 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner. They struck while the iron was hot, and it backfired because there's no way that team's winning a Super Bowl. I guess you do get Sauce for the long term, but man, that's definitely unfortunate because it was clear that they were striking and they had a good team this year and they were going to try and go for it all because again, there's no guarantee that next year will be as good and JT trying to make sure you get as much out of him in his prime as possible, and it seems like it's just going to end up backfiring on him, especially with this injury. 1st and 10. Houston backed up to their own 10-yard line. Woody Marks goes nowhere. Maybe gets a yard. Not ideal for Houston, but I get that. That really does just suck. I feel bad for Daniel Jones, of course. He was having a solid year. I mean, I was just worried, man. The second that I heard that he had that fibula injury, it was already a huge red flag going forward. Um, and, well, there you go. It just gets worse. So, We'll see, man. Stroud dropping back on 2nd down and 9. A great throw. Oh, the ball flipped out. It was intercepted. No, the officials come in and rule it incomplete. That was a wild play, though. I'm going to need to see a replay to fully break this one down. So this ball is deflected. I thought Nico Collins hauled it in. The ball's bobbling around. It bounces up and was nearly intercepted by Kansas City here. Oh my goodness, that was so close. That was so close. What a wild play. Good coverage there on Nico Collins, too. Great coverage. To never give up on it. Nico Collins had to really fight for that. 3rd and 9. Stroud's got to get the snap off. Kansas City sends pressure. Stroud's pass over the middle is incomplete. Schultz, the intended target. Flag comes in, though. What's the call? I think it's going to be a defensive holding on the Chiefs. And it'll give the Texans a 1st down and new life. Oh, man, that's a tough one as well. See, penalties as well just kill you. It was Williams, who I think just made a great play on Collins the previous play. But here he is, matched up against a one-on-one again. Collins wins off the line. He was going to probably get open, and Williams pulls him down immediately. You're not going to get away with that. Maybe Collins stumbled to sell it, though, but I'm not sure. Spagnola's upset about it, but, man. 1st and 10. Stroud handoff to Woody Marks. He finds a crease, picks up about 7 yards on that one. Good run there. So Trent McDuffie, dealing with a left knee injury, is questionable to return. He's been on the bike and on the sideline active. And obviously the all-pro cornerback is someone the Chiefs will need if they want to win this game. They're definitely going to need Trent McDuffie out there. 2nd down and 3. Stroud looking left, taking a shot down the field, and he overthrew Higgins, who, Jaden Higgins there may have been open, but Stroud wasn't able to connect with him on that one, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 3. Third and 3 coming up here. If you guys are listening, be sure to click the sub button. Big moment in this game right now. Kansas City's defense. Can they get off the field? Spagnola's showing heavy blitz. They're send a few. Stroud. Time. Right side. Pass caught. 1st down, Houston. Edwards on Schultz, and Schultz gets the 1st. I mean, Spagnola tried to scare Stroud here. He had a bunch of guys lined up in the box. He showed blitz. Backs up pretty much everybody. It was a 3-man rush, and no one got home. Oh, it's a 3-man rush, and the back end just didn't hold up here. Stroud had a man open, and Schultz. Nice throw. First and 10, handoff up the middle. Second down and 7 coming up. Second down and 7 for Stroud and the offense. And here comes pressure. Stroud's got to roll out right. He's looking across the body, and Collins comes back and makes the catch. He's off to the races. Can he beat a man in a foot race? No, but a massive play for the Texans. Nico Collins, what a play. Broken down C.J. Stroud. What a play from Stroud here. Collins came back for the football. Great play. What a play. Nico Collins coming back. CJ Stroud with the playmaking and the extension. Collins at 99 receiving yards. And we got all sorts of movement up front. It's going to be a false start on Houston. About 4 different flags just came flying in. So Nico Collins with 2 receptions on the day, but they're both big plays, and they add up to 99 yards. So that's pretty much all. That's pretty much the difference in this game right now. Is Houston getting points off of Nico Collins' big plays. After the false start, though, they're backed up. So will they be able to capitalize with a touchdown on this drive as Brown got called for the false start? Trent Brown, the right tackle, in his 5th straight start over there at right tackle for the Texans. 11 minutes to play in the second quarter. Texans are at about the 12.5-yard line of Kansas City. And it's going to be Stroud. A lot of motion. He's going to get it out to Woody Marks. The ball was deflected, and Kansas City's going to tackle Marks at the line of scrimmage there. Was that Tranquil or Chenal? Who made that tackle? That was a good play. Someone deflected that football. Yeah, that was Karlaftis who got a piece of that football and messed up the timing of that play, and then Tranquil came in and made the tackle. But credit to Karlaftis there for getting a hand on that, because that play had potential. There was a lot of misdirection, and Marks has some explosiveness, but it's going to be a 2nd down and goal. And again, they're backed up here because of that false start. Stroud. 2nd and 11. Pass is caught. Collins on the slant. Gets across the 10. Again, Williams versus Collins is a matchup that they are taking advantage of at the moment. They're targeting Nico a lot. He's over 100 yards already in the first half because that's just the type of elite player that he is. And it's a 3rd down and goal with 9:50 to go in the second quarter. Can they score a touchdown and make this game a lot worse? Third and goal from the 9-yard line. Marks in the backfield. Collins out left. Stroud, pressure coming. He's going to throw out to Marks, who's in. Touchdown, Woody Marks. The risk of blitzing there with Spagnola's play call. The risk of that is someone's going to be left open. And C.J. Stroud just pitched it out there to Woody Marks, not Nico Collins, to Woody Marks. Just kind of flipped it out there, and he was wide open. Again, Bolton comes in on a blitz. Marks acts like he might chip him, just flares out, and Bolton had a shot at Stroud there. He makes a nice move to step up and around him, and Marks wide open, walk-in touchdown, and the Houston Texans with a 10-0 lead in this football game. What a play again by Stroud. That was great. He diagnosed the blitz. He was prepared. He stepped up, made a move, touchdown. And again, obviously, a lot of the credit goes to Nico Collins for that drive as well. Another big play from the star wide receiver. And the Houston Texans with a 10-0 lead in this game. Do we have mac and cheese tonight? So a big touchdown right there. Here we go. Texans will kick off. Kansas City with a big-time drive here. And a pretty good return there for Kansas City. First and 10, Mahomes hands it off up the middle. Pacheco is stuffed. The interior offensive line is getting destroyed. Second down and 9. Pacheco going to the left. Mahomes pass over the middle is up in the air. Deflected. And is it intercepted? It is. Jalen Petrie. He's got the Guardian cap on. And he's out here making plays. I don't know why I said that. It just looks kind of goofy. But hey, good play, boy. Mahomes with a costly interception. And Houston is dangerously close to running away with this football. Great deflection by Petrie, who then locates the football up in the air and dives and makes the play. I don't know. They're going to have to look at this and see. Petrie ball bobbled, but then he hauls it in. I don't know if that's going to be standing. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if that's going to stand. Balls, that definitely just doesn't have control. I'm not going to lie. I don't think this is going to be a pick. Calling the field is an interception, though, so we'll see. But right there, it's just he hits the ground, and I think he uses it, and the ball moves in the middle. I don't think this is going to stand as a pick. Wait, am I an idiot? Maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know. Wait, never mind. I'm an idiot. Okay, so never mind. They called it a pick. They called it. Okay. First and 10. Stroud play action. Has time, and he'll just flip it out to Schultz after the pressure. Schultz was blocking, but he flared it out there on a release. If you're listening, be sure to click the sub button. I thought it wasn't. I mean, it looked like he may have used the ball to trap it, but hey, they confirmed it. They called it a pick. So hey, I'm cool. I don't know. I didn't know. It was interesting. Second down coming up. Stroud's been efficient today. 9 for 12, 144 yards. He's made a couple big time throws. He's made some good plays. I think CJ Stroud has honestly done a good job today. He's done a really nice job thus far. Second down and 6. Again, makes it easier when your defense also has allowed 0 points. As here we go. Stroud. Play action, roll out to the left. Pass is going to be caught by Knoll, who's going to dash near the first down marker. Let's see where they spot him. It's going to be 3rd and short, I believe. But great play. But yeah, shout out to Jalen Petrie, though. That was an amazing play. I mean, not only does he deflect that football up in the air and make the original big play, which is, again, getting in front and deflecting the ball, but then he goes and locates and picks it. I mean, that's an amazing play. Also, yeah, a lot of credit, though. Hold on, 3rd down and 1. I'll make the point in a second. 3rd and 1 from the 48 of Kansas City. Stroud going to sneak it, and he's got the first down. They didn't even go to the Stover Wildcat. They just went straight up the middle with Stroud. If Houston does end up making the playoffs, coming back, winning the South, whatever ends up happening at the end of the playoffs, a lot of credit does deserve to go to Davis Mills, who went 3-0 in Stroud's absence with a concussion. Again, does the Houston defense do most of the heavy lifting for this team? 100%. But for a backup quarterback to come in and play well enough to not lose you games at the end of the day, it's got to be, that's huge. That you have a guy like that. So shout out to Davis Mills. Very important piece of Texans lore. 1st and 10 now for Stroud. As he'll pitch this one out to Woody Marks. He gets some blocks. Marks up the middle, gets a few yards. Haven't seen much of Chubb today. I mean, we already know Davis Mills was the ultimate tank commander back in the day when they got CJ Stroud because of how bad they were. And now he's still out here doing things for the team. The Texans have 25 offensive plays for 183 yards. Kansas City's got 16 plays for 41 yards. They're getting outgained by like over 140 yards, which is just completely embarrassing. Kansas City's offense has been non-existent. And again, don't get me wrong, Houston's defense is elite, but Kansas City's offense, yikes. Second down and 6. Blitz is coming. Stroud has to throw it into the ground there. Spagnuolo sent the house at Stroud on that one, and he had nowhere to go with that one. So send some blitzes here through the gaps. It's Nick Bolton and Tranquil through those A gaps, and that's just a big time. That's just a great call there from Spagnuolo. They both come up, and then Tranquil's the one. Him and Bolton are both right there. Third down and 6. What'll Steve Spagnuolo call here? Texans are 4 for 6 on third down today. Woody Marks in motion. They're going to send more pressure. It's Stroud. Another incomplete pass that falls short of its target. Dalton Schultz. And what will be the decision for D'Amico Ryans? Again, you trust your defense. Do you try to pin KC back, or do you go for this fourth down and 6? What's the call here? It looks like Karlaftis and KC's defense coming off the field. I don't know. Fairbairn, this is a pretty long field goal. But once again, Spagnuolo's defenses, Spagnuolo's blitzes are just too tough sometimes. And right here, immediately coming in, nice play right there. Fourth down and 6, and Houston will punt the football and try to win the field position battle here. This punt is going to be... Oh, that's perfect. Down inside the 5. I think it's going to be at the 1 or 2 yard line. Tommy Townsend with a perfectly placed punt. And I mean, that's about as good of a special teams play as you can ask for from the Houston Texans. Hutchinson, I think, may have downed him at the 1. Unbelievable. So Houston doing a great job in all phases of the game today. That's how you continue to keep momentum in this football game. You don't go for it. You have a great defense. They're playing amazing. They got Kansas City's offense completely strapped right now. That's what you do. You pin them deep. And, I mean, with the way Kansas City's offense is going, I don't really see them driving 98, 99 yards down this football field and scoring a touchdown anytime soon. So puts Kansas City in a tough spot. And obviously, if your defense does what you expect them to do, you're going to get great field position on your drive before half and extend the lead even more going into halftime, where Houston also will receive the kickoff at a half. So, you know. They're in prime position right now. They've been executing really well. Again, defensively, they're doing great. Spagnuolo, though, did a great job with that drive. No doubt about that. Spagnuolo did a great job. Multiple blitzes, had Stroud in trouble, had nowhere to go. We'll see. I don't know. I really don't know what Kansas City's going to do on this drive. First and 10. Kansas City running up the middle. And Hunt is going nowhere. So they were actually placed at about the 3-yard line after that punt. Kansas City has had 4 first-half possessions, 3 punts, and an interception from Mahomes. Obviously, unfortunate for Houston that they weren't able to capitalize on that Petrie pick, but either way, still with a 10-0 lead, and Kansas City hasn't even hit 50 yards of total offense. Second down and 9, Hunt in the backfield, Noah Gray in motion. It's Mahomes taking the snap, 4-man rush. He's going to throw left side of the field. Got an open man, pass is caught out there by Tyquan Thornton, who's come along nicely for Kansas City this season, former New England Patriot, and he gets open here and gets them out of their own end zones. That's a huge play. Hunt didn't have to do anything on that one. Thornton got open. I thought Hunt was going to be in the pass protect for a second, but that's a good play. Lassiter out there, got him down. First down and 10 for Mahomes. He's 5 for 7 for 24 yards today. Has definitely not been his best half of football. And they'll fake the give to Hunt. Mahomes going to roll out right, throwing on the run. Pass is incomplete. Kelsey, don't think he's had a reception all day today. Again, Kansas City has just not been able to get much going. I think Mahomes' only yards today have been screen passes to Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Nothing is open downfield. Nothing's getting thrown downfield. Any of that. Kelsey, still in his old age and people saying he's losing a step, he still leads the Chiefs in all the main receiving statistics, receptions, touchdowns, and yards. So Kelsey, the haters say he's fallen off, but Kelsey still is Mahomes' go-to guy. Although Rashee Rice definitely would be leading the team if he played the whole season. Second and 10, Mahomes fakes the screen, looking, and pump fakes, running, and slides down. So the Texans were all over that play, but Mahomes doing Mahomes things, dancing around, able to get some positive yards out of that after Houston looks like they had that screen or whatever that play was completely shut down. Third and 5 from the 21. Mahomes. Can he get KC's offense going? He's got Rice, Worthy, and Thornton out there with Kelsey. Mahomes, pressure. Got to roll out right. Looking, and he's in a lot of trouble. He's fighting off everybody. Pass, is it caught? I think they're going to say it's a catch. A flag is also down in the backfield. So they're going to call a face mask here on the Houston Texans. On the Mahomes pursuit right there from Edwards Jr., he grabbed a hold of Mahomes' face mask. And he turned it slightly, which is obviously a personal foul. So, unfortunately for Houston, and they also are called for defensive holding. So regardless, Kansas City was going to pick up the first down. They get it anyway with the face mask. I think they may have gotten it with the catch. I'm not sure, though. But now they're set up at their own 41, first and 10. Mahomes has to step up, throw right side, pass is caught, Worthy. What a throw right there from Patrick Mahomes. Had pressure up in his face, and Xavier Worthy, the former first-round pick, gets open and picks up a big play. Worthy versus Stingley, and Stingley got beat there by Xavier Worthy on this little corner route, and that's just a great throw and catch. Worthy obviously so explosive and dangerous, and that's a big-time play for him. Worthy's in motion here on first and 10. They're now in Houston territory at the Houston 37. Worthy's in motion again to the left side. Mahomes, halfback draw up the middle. Kareem Hunt getting some burn here, gets a few yards. 2-minute warning is quickly approaching. Will Kansas City get another playoff? I don't know. 20 seconds before the 2-minute warning. They could just run this down and take it to that. Kansas City will take it to the 2-minute warning. 10-0 lead. 10-0 lead for the Texans, but Kansas City threatening here in a game that's very important for both teams who are looking to stay alive in the AFC playoff picture. Obviously, Houston loses this game. They're probably cooked for the division. You got Jacksonville at 9-4. If you drop to 7-6, and then does Houston play Jacksonville? Has Houston lost to Jacksonville early in this? They went 1-1 with the Jaguars, so there's that. Houston's schedule to end the season is definitely pretty favorable as well. They got the Arizona Cardinals at 3-10 and Jacoby Brissett. The 2-11 Raiders. That's probably 2 wins right there. Big matchup against the Chargers a couple days after Christmas, and then the Colts to end the season. So realistically, Houston wins tonight. This will be 8-5. They're probably going to easily get to 10 wins with the Cardinals and Raiders. And honestly, at this point, I got them probably beating the Colts too. So Houston has a very realistic path with a win tonight to 12-5, or at the worst, probably 11-6. Again, I just don't see Houston's defense. I don't see a way where Houston's defense allows a Riley Leonard or Anthony Richardson-led Colts team to beat them. So a win tonight, and Houston is definitely in a very, very good position to not only make the playoffs, but still win that AFC South. Again, they're tied and split at 500 with the Jags on the season, who are the leaders. It's crazy to me that the Jaguars are in first place. They've been very underratedly good this year, and I'm not really sure why. I'm looking at these stats, and it's like ETN's had a bounce back year, but their receiving game, Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr. is leading the receiving room at 448 yards. He has not been good this year. He's also been injured a bit, but I just don't get it. Where has BTJ even had he had such a good season. Okay, he's at 535 now. Has he had a game over 100 yards this year? I don't think so. From what I'm seeing, BTJ has his best game was a 90-yard game and a loss to the Seahawks. But the Jags right now, looking at their schedule, who are their lot? They lost to the Bengals. I'm assuming that was with Burrow. They had some good wins on their schedule. They lost to the Seahawks, and they got destroyed by the Rams. That was what it was. But they've rattled off a lot of wins, and they lost to Houston as well the second time they played. But the Jags have had a good season. Who's that other? Who did I see? Cincinnati at 4-9. I just don't see them coming back and winning that division. They did beat Pittsburgh one of the times they played. But they lost the second time. Yeah, there's no way. 2nd and 7 for Mahomes. He throws out left side pass caught by Tyquan Thornton. Lassiter. Okay, they're going to give him the first down here. That's what the official just called. Wait, or was it just timeout? Okay, Houston calls a timeout here. That was what the signal was. Timeout Houston. First timeout of the half for them. So, yeah, the Steelers, Dolphins next week, who have actually improved. The Dolphins were at one point looking like a top 5 tank type of team, and now with the Dolphins are up to 6-7. No way. How what's going? I thought the Dolphins were in a tank at one point, but sure enough, and they lost to the Browns by 20. But sure enough, they beat the crap out of the Bills. They beat the Commanders in that crappy Madrid game. They beat the Saints, and all of a sudden, the Dolphins are. They're probably still not going to make it because they got to play the Steelers, Bengals, Bucks, and Patriots. But I guess there's some sign of life there. 1st and 10, Mahomes, check down, another drop for Noah Gray. He has not had a good night tonight. He's already got 2 drops. Yeah, I don't think the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs, but they've put together, I did not realize that I thought, the way that I saw their fans talking on Twitter, I thought they were going to be a top 5 draft pick team. Not even close. Right now, by the way, just a scary situation for the NFL. The New York Giants right now have the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Hold on, 2nd down and 10. Chiefs have it at the 27. And another draw. It's Hunt running through. And he's going to get a solid gain of about 5 there. The Giants have the 1st overall pick in this upcoming draft. Why is that significant? Well, yes, the Giants have been bad this year. But we all saw what we saw when that team was healthy. And we saw what Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart could do. And they didn't even, and Malik Neighbors as well. And Malik Neighbors, who's been out with a torn ACL since like week 2 or like week 3. That Giants team is scary going forward. 3rd down and 5 for the Chiefs here. Can they get a touchdown or will they have to settle for 3 before half? Mahomes, what can he do against this defense? Anderson bull rushing back into him. Mahomes has got to navigate the pocket and he's going to be sacked. Mahomes is frustrated after that play because, my goodness, he was trying to make something happen, create something there. Danico Autry got through and cleans up the house for the sack. My goodness, man. I mean, they just can't protect him to save their lives. Houston called their second timeout. Anderson bull rushes into him. Mahomes has got to step up. Autry gets off of his guy. Just a terrible pocket. And here was Lassiter matched up against Kelsey. And just, I mean, he's hanging on there. No flag called. Because he was just, I mean, he just bagged him there. And yeah, Mahomes had nowhere to go with this. Good job by him to at least tuck it in and not mess it up and fumble or anything. But that is a killing blow to Kansas City, who had a good drive going, got the big play to Worthy, and they have to settle for a 43-yard field goal from Harrison Butker. That's crazy. As this kick is about to go through here, we'll see 1 minute and 3 seconds to go. Kick on the way. It is up, and it is off the upright. No good. Butker wide right, and Kansas City comes out of that drive with no points. If you had told me after the terrible start the Dolphins had this season that they would potentially have the same record as the Chiefs right now, I would call you crazy. I mean, the Dolphins started this season 1-0, 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, 2-6, and then 3-6, 3-7, and they have the same record. That's just ridiculous. Wow. And they lost Tyreek for the season too. But yeah, back to the point I was making with the Giants. As a Cowboys fan, we've beaten the Giants like a million times in a row with Dak. So at the same time, we kind of own them. But with the Giants, that team has potential. They beat the Eagles pretty decently that one Thursday night football game. I still remember that. You get Jackson Dart, if he can just stop concussing himself, him, CTE man, Scattaboo, if he can stay healthy, which to be determined because that guy is just a walking concussion. Malik Neighbors is an elite receiver. And then you start getting guys like, obviously the defensive line's that's good. There's a lot of talent with Lawrence. And I think Abdul Carter, I don't know what's going on with him. I think he's been good, but he's got some issues. How's Abdul Carter? I haven't really checked in. I haven't heard much about him besides the weird Twitter rumors that came out. Obviously, it's not ideal to see Abdul Carter getting benched this season. That's obviously not quite ideal. But, I mean, I don't know. He's not terrible. He's been all right this season. He's been pretty good from what I'm seeing. A couple sacks, nothing game-breaking, nothing crazy like Parsons' rookie year with Dallas, but still a very good year. And I brought up Parsons because that was his comparison. But yeah, regardless though, the Giants are going to be scary. Again, I don't know. I want to look at a mock draft and see who they have the Giants taking. CBS right now, I'm seeing. Well, they're not going to draft a quarterback. That's stupid. Did they go Ruben? Okay, this mock draft has them taking Arvell Reese to really solidify that defense. I don't know. Arvell Reese, from what I'm hearing, I mean, he's a very athletic linebacker, very good player. That could be interesting. 1st and 10, Stroud's pass incomplete. Giants, what they could also do, and what I think if they do get the first overall pick, is Stroud's complaining for a flag here, and I think he got it. Ooh, that offensive PI? Wow. offensive pass interference on Nico Collins there. That is definitely a very significant development in this drive here. As Houston has good field position because of the missed field goal, but obviously that's not ideal. They're going to lose a lot of yards, 10 yards, 2nd and 20. But yeah, I guess I'll just probably touch with this more on halftime. But yeah, I mean, you get that team, a guy like, what they'll probably do is trade back if they end up with that first overall pick. 2nd and 20. Stroud over the middle. Pass incomplete. Schultz intended target. 3rd and 20. Second down and 20, or 2nd down and 20 now. I guess they, okay, 2nd and 20 now. Here's Stroud. Outside pass complete to Schultz. They'll get some yards back. They had it 2nd and 20 on the screen, and they never changed. They never, changed it or fixed it. But now it's 3rd down and long after that completion there from Stroud. It'll be 3rd and 16 to be exact. But yeah, if y'all are listening, be sure to click the subscribe button. Again, really, really helps out the YouTube channel, helps me grow, and all of that. So click that sub button. Again, really, really helps me out. Makes me want to do these streams more. If you enjoy what you're listening to, of course. If you don't. But if you enjoy what you're listening to, click the sub button. Again, appreciate it. 3rd and 16. It's Stroud. Pressure from Jones. He's stepping up. Throws. Oh, my goodness. What a throw and a completion. Nico Collins. Stroud got pressured heavy from Jones. It was a wounded duck throw that floated in the air and wobbled ugly for a while, but it got there, and Collins makes the diving catch for the 1st down. Clock has been ticking, though. 20 seconds to go, and all sorts of movement up front. It's going to be a false start on Houston. Oh, wow. And another big play here is that another big factor in this false start penalty is that Houston has to burn their final timeout of the half to avoid the 10-second runoff, which is obviously huge because there goes your final timeout. You don't have much time left in the half anyway. You don't have a timeout now. Again, a heck of a play there from C.J. Stroud to get away from Chris Jones and make that throw. That's an elite play. But, yeah, that's tough. I mean, 1st and 15 coming up. 23 seconds. You're out of timeouts now because, again, you avoided that 10-second runoff. 1st and 15. Stroud. Pressure from Jones. He's going to be sacked. And that will end the 1st half. What a sack from Chris Jones. There's only 10 seconds left. Will Houston try to even line up and run another play? There's only 8 seconds now. 7, 6. They will get another play off. Stroud stepping up, pressured again. Can he make something happen? He's just going to check it down incomplete. And there it is. 1st half is over in Kansas City. Texans lead 10-0. The last drive didn't go their way, courtesy of Chris Jones completely wrecking everything there. But the Texans will get the football to start the 2nd half. I don't know why I clicked that button. They'll get the 2nd half kickoff with a 10-0 lead. Kansas City's offense could find no rhythm in that 1st half, and when they finally did, they missed the field goal after a sack. So Houston's defense doing what their defense does. They're traveling like they always do. And Kansas City's offense put up a goose egg in the 1st half. So, again, if y'all are listening, don't go anywhere. I'll be back for the 2nd half. Be sure to click the subscribe button. And I'll be back in a little bit. Again, I was just talking about the Giants a little bit there. Man, that could be a very scary football team in a couple years if they manage this draft correctly with that high pick, with a lot of QB-needy teams. Most notably, of course, the New York Jets. But, yeah, that is going to be interesting. But I'll be back. Yeah, you guys click the subscribe button, and I'll Yeah, click the sub button. Helps me out a lot. So click the sub button, like it up, like up the stream, and we'll be back soon for the second half of this one. So I came back here, was eating dinner. Texans finally bend and give up a touchdown on 4th and 1. Kareem Hunt plows forward, and he's into the end zone for a big time touchdown. And Kansas City forced Houston to punt on their opening drive out of half. Butker's PAT is good, and the Texans have narrowed it down. There you go. That's a huge touchdown right there. They're back in the game. Kansas City is immediately back in this football game. So the Texans lead 10-7. Huge drive coming up. Here we go. Huge drive coming up for Houston. 10-7 is the score. Again, they bent on that last drive. Kansas City was able to make it happen. Mahomes hit Hollywood Brown for a big play in that drive. And then from there, it was just some runs and touchdown. And that was it. I mean, man. Chris Jones has been on fire today. A sack, a TFL, 4 pressures. He has been all over the field. And now here we go. Texans get it at the 35 to start this next drive. It'll be C.J. Stroud. And he'll hand it off up the middle to Marks, I believe. And Marks didn't get too much on that one. So let's bring up second down here. Timeout on the field by the officials here. What's the deal? 2nd and 8. And here is Stroud. Right side pass is incomplete. Got deflected at the line. Third and 8. Stroud, left side, pass way overthrown of Collins, incomplete. And Kansas City's defense is going to get another stop. That's a big time stop there for the Chiefs. They've got momentum in this football game, and now all of a sudden, this is going to be a big punt for Townsend. Worthy back there. He could flip this game upside down with his elite speed. Kansas City came out with a stop and a touchdown, and now another stop. Townsend will boot it deep down the field. Worthy back there. He's going to give it a go, trying to return it. And a flag is down as Xavier Worthy trying to reverse the field, making people miss. He's going to be tackled. A flag was down regardless, though, for Worthy on that return. That is a big penalty right there. They're going to be backed up deep in their own end zone. Now, Mahomes did nearly get him. He got him into field goal range last time they were backed up. They didn't get any points out of it, but they were backed up. So maybe they can do it again. But yeah, if you are listening, though, be sure to click the sub button. It really helps out the channel. Quarterback comparison tonight. Mahomes 9 for 14, 93 yards. Pick. And then you got Stroud who's at like 170 yards. One touchdown pass for him. Mahomes getting a little bit more time to throw these last couple of drives, and things have been going better for the Chiefs offense. 1st and 10. And all sorts of movement up front. The Chiefs might get backed up even more. First and 12, Mahomes from his own end zone going to check it down to Kelsey, who makes a solid run after the catch and gets back to the 10-yard line. Second down and 4 from the 10-yard line. Mahomes handoff to Hunt up the middle. He's going to fight and he get the first down. It's going to be close. Hunt has been getting a lot of the carries later on in this game instead of Isaiah Pacheco. Again, I guess they just want a more physical, bruising running back behind this offensive line that's, mixed up right now. If y'all are listening to the stream again, be sure to click the sub button. It really helps out the YouTube channel. I'd appreciate it, man. I really would appreciate it. Click the sub button, y'all. Please help me out. 3rd down and 1. They'll mark him short. They'll probably go back to Hunt here. We'll see what they do, though. Hunt is the bruising back. Worthy's in motion. Texans have a bunch of guys in the box here preparing for the run. Worthy's in motion. Play clock down to 5. Mahomes will just go straight up the middle to Hunt, and he's going to fight and get the first down for Kansas City. They were able to win up front on that play. Isaiah Pacheco runs hard, but Kareem Hunt runs tough, if that makes sense. Like, Isaiah Pacheco's going to hit that freaking hole at 100 miles per hour. But Kareem Hunt is a veteran. Kareem Hunt's got that bruising ability. Again, this is not the same Kareem Hunt that was like the NFL's best running back or one of the top backs in the league in 2017. He's evolved into a power back. 1st and 10, Mahomes down the middle, pass is caught. Worthy lunges across the 35. And Xavier Worthy's having a good game today for Kansas City. The 1st-round pick a couple years ago out of Texas. And the Chiefs are just extra protecting. They're bringing in multiple tight ends, Kelsey and Gray, into block. And then Worthy gets open in the middle of the field. Worthy at 55 yards on the day after that completion. He's the Chiefs' leading receiver today. Mahomes. A lot of time. Left side, but incomplete. That one was way short of Worthy there. So, yeah, Kansas City, the offensive plan is simple now. They're going to just bring in as much protection as possible and hope that their receivers, Worthy, Rice, and Thornton, Brown, whoever, the speedy guys on the outside are, and hope that those guys can win their matchups because you're bringing in Gray to block and you got Kelsey in there even blocking on some of these plays. You got to just try to do something to limit this pressure that's coming. So that's the scheme that they're rolling with. 2nd down and 10. And it's going to be another handout. Pacheco makes a nice cut. Darts through the hole. He's going to pick up about 6 yards on that one. Isaiah Pacheco. That was a great jump cut by Pacheco. I was impressive. Third down and 4. And here's Mahomes over the middle. Incomplete. Kelsey, the intended target. He's throwing hands up. He wanted a flag. He didn't get it. And Kansas City is going to have to punt the football. So it's been a rough night in Arrowhead Stadium for the boys in red as they have just struggled to get any sort of offensive rhythm going on a consistent basis. Kelsey's held up here, though, and that's definitely a very reasonable. That's reasonable. I mean, Petrie grabs on and doesn't get off of him. I think that's actually a pretty valid. That's pretty valid. That's a pretty valid crash out. 4th and 4. Chiefs to punt. Ariza. Don't know how much of a boot he got on that one. It took a nice bounce, though, to roll near the 10-yard line, and Kansas City will be back on defense. It's a 10-7 football game. Bit of a snoozer here in Sunday Night Football. But in a pivotal AFC matchup, you got to tune in. So, there you go. First and 10, Stroud airmails that throw out of bounds. Collins was the intended target on the out route. Yeah, the Chiefs just came in there, made a play. Second down and 10. Handoff up the middle. Marks ran into a man. He's in trouble. Karlaftis was in the backfield, and Marks had nowhere to go. 5:20 to go in the third quarter. Third and 10. Stroud rolling out, firing down the field. Diving catch. And they're going to rule it incomplete. They'll say Kirk did not have it. Bounce it will punt this one away. And it's going to bounce around midfield. Maybe just shy of midfield from what I'm thinking. And the Chiefs are going to be set up in excellent field position. So a bad drive from Houston. And Kansas City is going to be set up in great field position here. I mean, Kansas City, they got to get points out of this drive. The field position's too good. The defense has done their job. So the Chiefs are 1-6 in one-score game this season. That's Andy Reid's worst record in one-score games in his entire coaching career. So usually Andy Reid's able to get his team to victory in these types of matchups, and you're definitely going to need to do that tonight in a game that most likely will come down to one score. 1st and 10, Mahomes rolls out left, looking, launching it deep, down the field, and is incomplete. Tyquan Thornton was the intended target. Kamari Lassiter, oh my goodness, in coverage there. I thought Thornton had a touchdown and hit him in the hands, but Lassiter with the late punch out, perfect punch out. And not very strong hands there from Tyquan Thornton. It's in his hands. He kind of bobbled it on the initial catch, and then Lassiter just came in, punched it out, and saves a touchdown. 2nd down and 10. Great play by the Georgia corner. Rice in motion, and it's going to go to Rashee Rice. He's trying to get to the outside. Petrie missed the tackle. He's shoved out of bounds by Bullock, and he'll bring up a 3rd and medium. Rice only 3 receptions for 19 yards today. Got to think he's going to be a big part of this comeback. 3rd and 3. Mahomes. Anderson coming in hot. Mahomes steps up. He's got the 1st down. Patrick Mahomes across the 30. That's what Patrick Mahomes does at such an elite level. He's hobbling a bit, though, right now. But that's what Mahomes does, man. A play is never dead when Patrick Mahomes is the starting quarterback. And right here, Anderson does a great job getting around, forcing Mahomes to step up. No defensive tackle or linebacker was there, though, to step up and make that play. So Mahomes just ran through and got the first down. Read option there to Pacheco, and he's able to get a couple yards. I think Mahomes, that was like kind of a little delay there on the transfer. I don't know if Mahomes thought about keeping that for a while. Here's the AFC playoff picture, though. You got two teams in the hunt playing tonight in Kansas City and Houston. Baltimore and Miami at 6 and 7 are both in the hunt still. Number one seed in the conference is a battle between the Broncos and Patriots, both at 11 and 2. And then you have the Jaguars atop the South at 9 and 4. The Steelers atop the North at 7 and 6. And then in the playoffs, you got the Chargers, the graphic went away. Mahomes rolling out left on 2nd and 8. He'll get a few yards there. It's Chargers. It's not Texans. They're still in the hunt. Chargers, Bills, and Colts. Chargers, Bills, Colts. Those are the three teams in right now. Bills picked up a huge win today. Bengals came into Buffalo with intentions of ruining the Bills' season and potentially even, potentially just even keep making a run at their division title, but they came short thanks to a Christian Benford pick 6. 3rd and 2. Mahomes fakes the handoff. He dumps it out to Hunt. He wasn't ready for it. It's incomplete off his hands. 4th and 2. And Kansas City is probably going to be forced to kick a field goal here and tie this game, which I think is going to be the Andy Reid decision. I know he's going to think about going for it because Andy Reid's aggressive. I mean, he's offensive coach. But in a game like this where it's all about defense, I mean, I think you got to just trust your defense, right? That's just a pretty big missed play right there. So Butker on for his second kick of the game. He missed the first one. This one's from 36, a little closer in from the left hash. And they get the snap off in time. Kicks up. It is just going to stay inside the left upright and go through. So Kansas City ties the game at 10. They were able to get points at least out of that great field position, but not a touchdown because, again, their offense, just so many miscues. On a consistent basis. It's just a lot of miscues, a lot of mistakes, and, well, that's just the way it's been for them all season. $150 to go in the third quarter. I never even adjusted. Here's the return from the Texans, and they will not get too much out of that. Kansas City's got some momentum in this football game right now. First down and 10. Still start at the 23-yard line. It's C.J. Stroud. Play action. He's got to get rid of it. Pressure's coming. He threw it into the ground. Woody Marks was right there, so it's not going to be intentional grounding. So here we go. CJ Stroud 0 for 7 so far in the second half. And 2nd and 10. They're just going to run the football. Marks trying to bounce it outside. He maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. Chris Jones has been elite, man. He's been such a key part of this game today. Third down. Third and 10 for CJ Stroud and the Texans. Spags showing blitz. Where's it coming from? Pressure. Stroud in all sorts of trouble. Throws off the back foot into no man's land. Incomplete. Bolden wants intentional grounding, but the Chiefs defense holds up strong. And again, Steve Spagnuolo's blitzes are some very dangerous stuff. There will be no intentional grounding on the play, but Townsend to punt this one away. He's been busy tonight. Worthy fair catches that one. And Kansas City's defense has gotten them multiple big-time field position flips here as Mahomes and the offense will go out there in a 10-10 game. So in the first half, Houston outgained Kansas City 201 yards to 98. In the second half, it's the opposite. Kansas City 128 yards to Houston's -2. You heard that right. -2 yards of offense for the Houston Texans in the second half. They have been completely boxed in. And a game between two teams in 500. The Chiefs desperate for a win. They're at home. I picked them for a reason. And we'll see if that comes to fruition. Again, I'm probably rooting for the Texans, though. Mahomes rolling out under pressure. Can he extend the play? What a throw! Oh, my goodness! Rice incomplete, and he just got decked. Creed Humphrey ran over. I don't know what he's so mad about. That was a legal hit, but I guess you got to protect your guy. My goodness, was that Jalen Petrie? I talked about him earlier, the hard-hitting safety. Eyes on this play. He reads Mahomes' eyes across the field, and when he works his way back to their side, he comes downhill and lays a massive hit on Rashee Rice, who kind of spirals out of control here. Kind of just awkwardly lands, and that's just a huge hit. Again, Rice, good to see him get up. Petrie, though, he lays the boom and sets the tempo for this Houston defense. What a hit right there. Again, every great defense has got themselves a hard-hitting safety. As here's Pacheco, ran into his own guy and got taken down by Texans defense there. Yeah, I mean, you think the Legion of Boom, Cam Chancellor, Cam Chancellor. The Steelers' good defenses, they had a lot, but Troy Polamalu, enforcer. Ravens defenses had Ray Lewis at the safety position. They had Ed Reed. I mean, Brian Dawkins on those Eagles defenses. It's just, you got to have that safety who can come down and put some fear in the heart of their opponent with one hit. And that's what I think Jalen Petrie just did. End of the third quarter. Tie ball game here in Kansas City. Chiefs and Texans knotted at 10. Again, not comparing Jalen Petrie to those guys. But he's been playing at an extremely high level this year. And, again, he is, he hits hard, man. He's scary. I mean, Rashee Rice just did a little weird. I mean, he was completely destroyed on that play. That was ridiculous. So, Sam Levitt. Mahomes going deep down the field, and is he intercepted? I think he is. First play of the fourth quarter, Kamari Lassiter with the interception. So Mahomes went deep here. Hollywood Brown ran this corner, this deep corner. This is an underthrown football that Kamari Lassiter plays perfectly. And the Chiefs with another turnover. Mahomes, I think that's his second pick of the night. That one's on him all day. And a lot of frustration from him as the Chiefs, with a golden opportunity there with good field position to take the lead. And Lassiter just put that to bed for the time being. So Texans up 2-0 on the turnover battle. 10-10 on the scoreboard, though. And they are pretty backed up there with that punt as they're now back to the 15-yard line. Their own 15, actually their own 16. C.J. Stroud gonna run the football. Woody Marks plows forward. And now the Texans are officially at positive yards for the half. They've been at -2, but they are now in the positive. Yeah, the Texans have, again, this is a classic Texans game. Their offense is not doing much, but their defense has kept them in it. The difference really has been the Texans just, again, have kind of lost the field position battle here in the second half. They punted from deeper in their own territory. Second down and 6. Pressure's coming. Stroud under duress. He is going to be sacked. George Karlaftis came flying in with the sack, and Stroud took a huge hit there. Steve Spagnuolo's defense is just destroying the Houston Texans right now. Their offensive line has no answer. C.J. Stroud has no answer. This Chiefs defense is full on dominating this football game as Karlaftis just goes right around Trent Brown. It wasn't even necessarily the blitz, although Bolton was also in that backfield. But Karlaftis just went right around the right tackle, Trent Brown. Stroud takes a brutal shot. And it is 3rd down and 17 from their own 9. And now Jones gets pressure. Stroud's got to step up and throw. And he's got a completion. I think it's for a first down. I think he got the first down. We'll see where they spot him. And it is going to be for a first down. What a play from Stroud. The pressure came in, and he stepped up and delivered a great throw to Higgins. Yeah, that was a bad spot. He reached across and got that. That was a pretty bad spot. 1st and 10. Stroud, left side, pass is caught. Knoll. The Iowa State receivers are making plays today. But my goodness, that is just a massive, potentially season-altering 3rd down conversion there from C.J. Stroud, who's just doing his thing out there today. Here we go. 2nd down and 3 from the 33. And it's going to be another handoff. Woody Marks taken down by Bolton. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and short. Again, the Texans' offensive line not exactly doing much to create push in the middle. 3rd and 2 with 12 minutes to play. After Stroud's heroics on the previous 3rd and 17, are they going to get the ball? Are they going to put the ball in his hands? Again, the Texans, no one blocks Nick Bolton. He literally just comes in pretty much unblocked through that middle of the line, and that's just an easy tackle. Well, it was a good tackle, but yeah, too easy for him. 3rd down and 2. No motions into the backfield. Stroud is going to give it to him on a reverse. Can he get to the line again? He's going to be stuffed. What a tackle by Jalen Watson. The play design was there as there's a flag down, and oh no for Kansas City. D'Amico Ryans is pointing for a first down. Watson made an amazing tackle. I mean, that was perfect. Beautiful form tackle right there. But I don't know the flag. Who's it on here? Oh, it's holding on the offense. And the penalty will be declined. It'll be 4th down, and the Texans will punt the football. This is just a great tackle, though, by Jalen Watson. Perfect textbook tackle. Drives Noel back. Nothing. I mean, that's just a great tackle. Goes low, gets the leg there. That's beautiful. Kansas City's defense continues to be great. It's time for Patrick Mahomes to do what he does. It's a 4th down and 1. And Townsend again with what feels like his 100th punt of the night. And this is a good one. Down to the 22-yard line. Worthy fair catches it. Again, Worthy I wish he would get an opportunity to really return something here, but he makes the smart decision. Drive is over. It's Kansas City's ball. Can their offense finally find something here in this 4th quarter? I don't know. Man. Yeah, the Chiefs, man, their defense is doing it right now, and the Texans defense is also doing well. But I feel like the Chiefs just have more potential, you know? I think the Chiefs just have more potential to win this football game. Um, Look, great throw by CJ Stroud on that last drive, but it literally took a phenomenal throw for him to make that happen. The way that Steve Spagnuolo is calling this game is amazing. They're shutting down any sort of run game. I mean, both teams really don't have a run game, so I don't even want to say that. It's really not a matter of the run game. It's a matter of Patrick Mahomes is simply a better playmaker than CJ Stroud. And in a game like this where points are at a premium, it's going to be a play like that where Mahomes makes a big play. Again, Stroud did just make a great throw, but Mahomes is going to be the one who makes the big play, makes the big throw, makes a great playmaking play. His skill set is just better for a game where pressure's coming a lot because he can extend plays and at least escape. Stroud's more of a pocket guy. He'll move around and navigate it, but Stroud's not as much of an extender of plays like Patrick is. And so I think that's just going to be the reason why KC gets the win. Again, I like to see Houston get the win, but I think KC is in a better position right now. But at the end of the day, it's still tied. Here's Mahomes standing in the pocket. Now he's got to escape and just throw that one away. But, I mean, the Houston pass rush has been elite tonight. Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson doing their thing. Although Danielle Hunter entering this drive, 0 sacks and only a 4% pressure rate, which is his lowest on the season. And he has 0 pressures on 13 pass rushes versus Essa Pole, who is I believe it's the undrafted free agent who's in the game at left tackle for Wanya Morris, which is definitely shocking. It's been the interior and Will Anderson. 2nd and 10, Mahomes pressured again. Got to extend the play. Rolling right, fires across the field, incomplete. Flag is down. I mean, hey, if KC's offense keeps doing this, then they won't win the game. But what's the flag here? And so there is no flag on the play. There's no flag. That's actually really impressive. This guy's an undrafted free agent out of Washington State. And apparently, he's giving up no pressures tonight to a guy who's been one of the most dominant pass rushers in the NFL this season. I mean, that is just ridiculous. He's done a great job. It's crazy. 3rd and 10 here for Mahomes. And Mahomes has some time. Pressure coming. He's got to escape. Mahomes gonna run and take a hit off Al-Shaair, and he's gonna be short of the first down. But he was able to shake off a tackler and make this a close spot. Yeah, Azeez Al-Shaair completely missed the tackle there on Patrick Mahomes. It's 4th down and short, though, and a decision to be made for Andy Reid's team. But Mahomes comes up completely. He just completely misses that tackle. And then Rankins had to come up and clean it up, or else Mahomes would have had the first down. 4th and 1. Chiefs are looking like they're going to go for it. Play clock is down, though, to 4, to 3, to 2. And they're going to go for it. Mahomes looking, pressure coming, and incomplete. Derek Stingley one-on-one against Rashee Rice. And the Chiefs are going to turn it over on downs. Andy Reid went aggressive, going for it in his own territory. Houston got pressure. Will Anderson Jr. wins here on the right side. Forces Mahomes to step up and make an off-balance throw. And it's the Texans defense who makes a huge stop in this game. That's one of the biggest plays. And again, that's a lot of confidence for Andy Reid to put in his offense that has really struggled tonight. Again, a very interesting decision. I didn't think he was actually going to go for it there. Because now Houston has the ball at their own, at the KC 31. Stroud handoff up the middle to Marks. I mean, how much more heavy lifting can this Kansas City defense do? 10 minutes to play here in this game. Texans are getting spotted points here pretty much because of that decision. Now, again, you trusted him, and he went, and again, your offensive line just did not hold up there. And that's why Mahomes had to rush a bad throw. Great coverage by Stingley on Rashee Rice as well. 2nd and 4. Up the middle again. Woody Marks goes nowhere. Kansas City dominating on the interior. Third down coming up. Will Anderson still got that helmet on. He knows he'll probably be out there very soon. This is a big 3rd down, though. Again, the Texans probably got a field goal in the bag here, but they probably want to go for that touchdown, because a touchdown in a game like this makes it not insurmountable, but it's tough to come back from that in a game like this. 3rd and 3. Stroud. Snap. 3-man rush. Jones got pressure, though. Stroud's trying to get him off of him. He's rolling out right, throwing. Oh, he's got a completion for the first down to Higgins. Unbelievable. You know what? I was talking about how Mahomes is a better playmaker than Stroud in extending plays. I've been talking about how he's just way better than Stroud at that. But right here on this play, CJ Stroud just did that all by himself pretty much. Jones immediately destroys the right guard. Stroud has to panic and get out of the pocket and makes a great throw on the run to Jaden Higgins. That's a playmaker play right there from Stroud. What a play. I guess I need to give him more credit for his playmaking ability, as they're now 1st and 10 inside the red zone. It's a play action. Stroud rolling out left. He's going to take off and run. He's going to get about 3 or 4 yards on the run before being forced out. Clock will keep running, as now we're about to be under 8 minutes to play in this one. Texans 10-10. A touchdown, again, would do wonders for them today. And would, again, cost Kansas City big time. That decision by Andy Reid is going to be scrutinized for sure. Especially if they lose this game, that's going to be the decision everybody points to. 2nd down and 7. From the 13. What can Spagnuolo call up here? Knowles in motion. Stroud's going to run the football here. It's going to be Woody Marks dashing through into the 5-yard line with a first down. Woody Marks took a big hit, and it looks like he's having a tough time getting up here. He took a big hit here at the end of this play, taken hard into the ground by Tranquil. And Cook laid the hit. Tranquil took him down. And yeah, Marks immediately is looking pretty shaken up there. So 7:19 to go, and they will take him off the field. The weird thing about football is definitely that, is Nick Chubb out tonight? Maybe. Is that a lot of the time, there's big hits, but a lot of the time it's where you get hit and how you land, not so much the impact of the hit itself. So coming into the game is Dare Ogunbowale, who in his 7th career NFL season, 587 rushing yards, 816 receiving yards, and he is in the game right now as the Texans, when they're only healthy running backs on the roster now, I guess. Clock will run to 7 minutes. What a run by Markso to get the first down. And that sets up 1st and goal for the Texans. Can Chris Jones make another big play? They're at the 5. Noel motion. And it's going to go to Ogunbowale up the middle. And is he in? Touchdown, Texans! Ogunbowale, fresh off the bench, gets into the game and scores the touchdown. Oh my goodness. Andy Reid, that was a very questionable decision from the moment that you snapped that football. And it may have just cost the Chiefs this game and potentially a playoff spot. Ogunbowale fights through, tough run through the middle of the defense, through the heart of the Chiefs defense. Jamari Connor couldn't bring him down, and that is a touchdown. He's over the line. And with a PAT from Fairbairn, it's going to be a 17-10 game with 6:56 to go. And the PAT's good. In a half where Kansas City has dominated for the most part in terms of outgaining the Texans, the Texans still managed to pull ahead here in the 4th quarter and have a 7-point lead. Yeah, this game is just so massive for both of these teams. I mean, the Texans stay alive in the AFC South race, and obviously they're right back. They're in the playoffs too. They'll jump they jumped the Colts today as well because of the head-to-head tiebreaker. They also jump ahead of the Colts, so they would be in the playoffs today with a win tonight. They're back in the playoff picture, which is again incredible considering how slow they started. But it just shows how football is, man. Again, defense travels. The Texans' defense travels everywhere they go. It's an elite unit week in and week out. And again, I've watched them the past couple weeks, and man, I got to tell you, the Texans are legit. The offense needs work, and I don't think that they're really a serious Super Bowl contender because, again, their offensive line is just so bad. It's so hard for them to do anything offensively. Stroud is pretty good. Collins is a great receiver. The Iowa State guys are here and there making plays. Higgins, Nolan, Hutchinson, those guys make plays here and there. And then obviously you have guys like Woody Marks who are pretty good players, but the offensive line, I don't know. It's gonna be their downfall. But this defense is elite, and I think the Texans have shown that they're definitely, they are definitely a team that you wouldn't want to play in the playoffs, though. There's no doubt about that. I don't know if that's a team that can rattle off 3 or 4 straight wins to win a Super Bowl, but what I do know is that's a team that I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs because they have the capability to score offensively because of some of the talent and the weapons, like, again, Collins. And they have their defense is elite. They're the best defense in the NFL. They're strong at every level of the defense. Again, I said it earlier. You got Hunter and Anderson off the edge. Rankins has had a great year in the middle. You got Azeez Al-Shire in the middle at linebacker. Big-time hitter. You got Lassiter and Stingley. That's an elite corner duo right there that can lock down most wide receivers. I mean, we've seen Lassiter get it picked tonight. We've seen Stingley lock up Rice on that 4th down. It's just guys like that. And you got Petrie, who's the equalizer, man. He'll level anybody. So the defense for them is certainly amazing, and they will be a very tough team to beat in the playoffs. Again, that's a team you don't want to play against because of that defense. Do I think they have a chance of winning a championship? Probably not. Not right now. They need to get a better offensive line for Stroud. But that defense is not something I would want to play. But they still got to finish this game off. And again, they're showing some of Casey's miscues. That third down incompletion to Kareem Hunt. And then fourth down. Great defense here. Stingley's all over Rashee Rice. Mahomes had to step up there in the pocket because of that Will Anderson pressure. And here we go. The Chiefs have been inevitable in these drives in recent years in this dynasty. As here's Kareem Hunt getting the football, running tough, and Creed's trying to drag him for as many yards as possible. They've been inevitable. The Chiefs have been inevitable for so many years now in these moments. They've been clutch. Mahomes has always made the great plays, no matter how improbable or how unlikely the situation is. I mean, shoot. 2-minute drills, 13-second drives. But this year, the Chiefs haven't been that type of team. The Chiefs have not been that type of clutch team this year. They're like 1-6 in one-score games. Could they lose another one today? 2nd down and 4. Worthy in motion. He's been good today. Hunt's going to get it on the draw up the middle, and he is driven backwards by the Texans defense that just continues to make plays. We got something going on over here. They're not showing it on the camera angle, but someone got, I guess, some people got into it after the play here from both sides. Obviously, emotions are going to be high in a game like this. It was Kelsey, it looks like, who got driven back a bit, and then him and Barnett kind of get into a little scuffle here at the end of this play. And that dude, who was that guy in the Texans trying to drag Barnett away from Kelsey? That was funny. 3rd and 4, Mahomes pressured, looking around, stepping up, throwing a wobbler, incomplete. The Texans defense is going to do it again. And with 5.5 minutes to go, they're backed up in their own territory. Kansas City's probably going to have to punt this football and trust that their defense can get a stop. But we'll see, though. This might just have to be, I don't know. Mahomes got his arm hit on this throw by, I think, Danielle Hunter. Danielle Hunter got a hit off on that arm. Made the bad throw. But here we go. 4th down and 4. And the decision for Kansas City, I think they called a timeout here. Kansas City has been 81% on 4th downs throughout the season. And Mahomes, again, has been one of those nights where he's been running for his life, trying to make plays. I mean, it was in the tush push there. He's been running for his life all night long because this Texans D-line is so good. And the Chiefs' offensive line's hobbled. Mahomes has just had to do it all. So 4th and 4 coming up. And again, Mahomes' numbers aren't eye-popping. 12 for 27, 131 yards, and 2 interceptions. Hasn't been his best night. 59 yards rushing. But he's been dealt a tough hand tonight against an elite defense. And I still picked him to win because I thought he was going to make plays, and maybe he still can. 5:31 to go, and Andy Reid will roll the dice for the 2nd drive in a row. 4th and 4 from their own 41. Pacheco motions back into the backfield. And here's Mahomes. Can he get protection? Pressure comes. He steps up. He throws. It's incomplete. Rashee Rice, the intended target. And I think that this was definitely a very catchable football. I mean, I'll have to watch it again here. But I think that for the 2nd week in a row, Rashee Rice just dropped a critical pass. Good job by Mahomes here. Yeah, that's just a concentration drop. He's wide open. The hit came in afterwards. Rice just let that one go straight through his hands. I mean, it's the same. He dropped a critical 3rd down pass against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving as well. Bad hands from Rice there, and Mahomes is he's got to be upset about that one. He's also, that's what I will say. You'll look at the box score and you'll be like, man, Mahomes did not play well today. If you really watch the football game and you don't just read box scores, Mahomes has not been the main issue. The offensive line's been terrible, and he's had multiple critical drops. I've seen Rice drop a couple. Noah Gray dropped 2. Noah Gray did have a couple really bad drops. Kareem Hunt, that really bad 3rd down and 2 drop. I'll defend Mahomes here, man. He has been let down severely by his supporting cast besides pretty much, I don't know, who has helped him out today? Worthy's had some good plays, and Hollywood Brown had a nice play earlier in the game, and I guess Kareem Hunt had a nice touchdown run. That's pretty much it. I mean, he plays here and there, but the supporting cast has been terrible. Drops, penalties, and offensive line sucked. I mean, my goodness, it seems like they're getting pressure every play on him, so it's been tough. Kansas City turns it over on downs for the second drive in a row, and now Houston set up in field position to the point where, look, you just kick a field goal and this game's over. I mean, not only is there not much time left, but honestly, if with a 10-point lead, I think you could play a full other quarter of this game. I don't know if Kansas City would be able to muster up anything against this defense. They're completely overwhelmed up front. The difference in this game has been that Houston's offense has at least, well, honestly, they've been just as bad, but Houston is probably just, I don't know. I guess they've just been better at taking advantage of field position. But yeah, this game just completely flipped upside down after that 4th and 1. I mean, this game was really going back and forth, punts, field position trades, and then just, I don't know, that 4th and 1 that flipped the switch to where that's just a tough decision. Again, Andy Reid is a naturally aggressive guy. He's going to always trust in his offense to make those plays and trust that his generational quarterback can make that throw. But in a game like this, where you're putting you're giving the opposing team, you're giving their strength a chance to make a play. You're giving their big strength a chance to play their defense. I don't know, man. It's a decision that'll be scrutinized and looked at closely and picked apart for a good reason. I mean, you let Houston's defense do what they do. Neither quarterback's been outstanding today, but Stroud has yet to turn it over. 5:26 to go. They'll start from Kansas City's 41-yard line. And they got to get the snap off quickly. The play clock is down to 0, and the Texans will call a timeout before they can blow the play dead for delay a game. So both teams have used a timeout this half. I didn't update Kansas City's, though. I will say, I think C.J. Stroud has played really well in this game, though. He's made some good plays. He's made a couple really great plays. On the last drive, that 3rd down and 2 throw to Higgins, or 3rd down and whatever throw to Higgins, ready to roll out and get away from Chris Jones. That was a phenomenal throw. C.J. Stroud has made some really big plays today. I don't know how they almost get a delay game off a turnover on downs, though. Woody Marks up the middle and swallowed up by the Chiefs interior. But yeah, Marks is clearly pretty banged up right now. He's being dragged up by his teammates. But yeah, Stroud has been good today, though. He's been good. I've been really impressed with a lot of his big-time plays. He's made some really good throws. He's been huge. Again, he's had no run game. 19 carries for 49 yards from Woody Marks. I mean, literally nothing from the run game today. He's had very little help in pass rush from his own line. Got to give credit to both the quarterbacks. They've been battling through the adversity in the 28-degree weather with pretty crappy supporting casts. Here's the handoff to Woody Marks, left side, and he's going to get a couple yards before being driven back there by Connor. Now, Nico Collins has made some huge plays today as well. Give credit to him. He's also made some big plays. But here we go. 3rd down and short coming up. That's a very good tackle by Connor. Go low and drive Woody Marks back. That's a strong tackle against the USC back. And it's a 3rd down and 7. So CJ Stroud, does he have another 3rd down magic in him? Play clock is winding down. And they got to get the snap off. Are they going to use another timeout? No. Spags sends the house at Stroud. He throws it away. A flag is down. Did they get the timeout off, though? They did not call the timeout. It's going to be a delay of game, which means a 3rd down. Honestly, this isn't even terrible. I mean, Spags sent the house regardless, and it was an incomplete pass. That play was dead anyway, so I honestly like It honestly isn't even the worst thing in the world. Plus, hey, if you don't get it, you're punting anyway and downing him. So you either get this third down here or you throw an incompletion and punt. It really isn't the worst thing in the world, that delay game. It's not awful. Obviously not ideal, but that play was completely blown up. Spags had the play call, and the Texans have struggled with the blitz tonight, as most teams do. Spags' blitzes are amazing and creative. 3rd and 12, 3:58 to go. They're backed up to the 43. Stroud, pressure coming. It's picked up. He's got to get rid of it down the field. Oh, he missed the throw. He had Christian Kirk open, and he just could not hit him there. And it's going to be incomplete. Oh, man. That's a tough miss right there. Chiefs set pressure again. Actually, decent job right here by Marks to pick this up. Stroud had to get rid of it. Anticipation throw there to Christian Kirk, who was running this route. It was kind of, he got inside and then was going outside, and then Stroud put it out too far in front. That's a tough throw. 4th and 12, and Townsend will punt for the 8th time tonight. Kansas City lining up like they're going to be aggressive, trying to block this punt. And they will go aggressive. Townsend gets it off quickly, sends this one down near the goal line. It's going to take a good bounce back to the 7. Okay. Or it'll be played by Hutchinson. So 3:44 to go. A busy night for Townsend. He's one of the players of the game for sure. And Mahomes will get at least one more chance here to to tie this game. Here we go. This is huge. Huge drive here for both these teams' seasons. For Houston, it's just, can their defense answer the call one more time? And for Kansas City, it's, does Patrick Mahomes have any magic left in him for this game? We've seen him do it so many times, but man, he's got no help out there for real. 1st and 10, starting from their own 8-yard line. Mahomes, first play, pressured, has to step up and throw, and another drop. Travis Kelce couldn't haul that one in. That would have been about a gain of 5. And Kansas City has had a case of the dropsies tonight, all around the team. Mahomes had to step up here, and a low ball, but Kelce, that's an easy catch that he makes most of the time, and he just wasn't able to haul it in. Mahomes is currently on the longest incompletion streak of his career right now at 9 straight incompletion/intercepted passes. One of the worst stretches of his career. A whole lot of drops. 2nd and 10. Mahomes going back, throwing down the field, and oh my goodness, it's going to be intercepted! Azeez Al-Shaair! Kelce dropped it again! And that's one of those interceptions that's going to count against the quarterback, but in reality, that's all Kelce. Unless I just am missing something here. Kelce, this is thrown behind him, but Travis Kelce bobbles it up in the air, and Azeez Al-Shaair comes up with the interception. Again, not a great throw from Mahomes, but Kelce, it's in his hands, and the Hall of Fame tight end, the future Hall of Fame tight end, usually is able to reel those types of passes in, but not tonight. Another drop, and Kansas City's offense with their 3rd turnover of the game. That's pretty much going to do it, I think. Texans are set up in great field position, and now you're looking at the Chiefs, who are very close to falling to 6-7 on the season. From the 26-yard line, Stroud in motion. And a handoff to Marks, bounces left side. The key is to stay in bounds. I don't know, I said Stroud in motion. I think it was Collins in motion or something like that. Kansas City is going to start using their timeouts. Kelce on the bench over there. He's obviously pretty mad and fuming a little bit. That's a tough interception right there to be responsible for. Yeah, the Chiefs, man, it's just these types of things. It's just these types of miscues. That's why the Chiefs have just not been good in one-score games this year. The Chiefs we're so used to the Chiefs being this unstoppable team in the clutch. They're always clutch. Kelsey always making big plays. Mahomes always finding a way to make that throw. Kelsey always finding a way to reel that in. Just things like that. Missing field goals. Bucker missed a kick today. I mean, just those little miscues that the Chiefs just haven't had in recent years. Well, little miscues, but in games like this where it's close, it's big miscues. As Marks gets another carry, and Kansas City will use their final timeout of the game to stop the clock one more time. And again, Houston just playing it like it's under 2 minutes here. Run the ball, kick a field goal, go up 10, and you pretty much have this game in the bag. A first down here we could pretty much seal the deal, but Fairbairn is waiting for the field goal. But yeah, it's just in the second half of this game, Kansas City had the momentum, but it got flipped on its head the second that 4th and 1 was incomplete. And again, Kelsey was bad. He dropped 2 passes on that drive. Again, that last one was tough, but again, Travis Kelsey going to be expected to haul those in. But at the end of the day, the game was probably going to be lost on that 4th and 1. We'll see, though. 3rd and 5 from the 21. It's C.J. Stroud under center. And he's going to just go back to Woody Marks up the middle. Woody's got a first down. 23 carries for Marks, 63 yards on 23 carries. Workhorse back tonight. And with that 3:06 to play in this game, the Chiefs have no more timeouts. The Texans can run this clock down a lot. Marks with a good cutback right there, and maybe, and yeah, I don't know. That's huge. So now it's all about running the football and ending this game. Marks right side, and he is down. All it is now is 2 hands on the football, good ball security. He's obviously banged up. I mean, he's had so many carries tonight. He's dealing with it. Okay, I don't know why they're not showing the scoreboard right now. But yeah, this is an unfamiliar. These are unfamiliar faces you're seeing right now around the stadium, around Arrowhead. I mean, there's empty seats right now. I think a lot of Chiefs fans have hit the exits, and this is just, again, a very unfamiliar sight as the 2-minute warning is about to hit. This is just very unfamiliar for a team that's been so dominant for so many years, a team that's just always found ways to win for almost a decade, and it just seems like this season is just kind of lost for them. I mean, for a lot of different reasons, offensive line injuries, critical turnovers, whatever the deal may be this year. It just hasn't been their season, man. I mean, we were able to see very obviously early on the cracks in the Chiefs' armor that we just again haven't seen like that in years, but I don't know. Man, again, you just don't see it. You just don't see it like this. Again, a lot of credit to the Texans. The turnaround is officially on. Is officially true. I mean, it's beneficial, but wow, it's real, man. How how good this team has gotten as the season's gone on. Second and 8, a handoff to Woody up the middle. He's gonna fight. So the clock will continue to tick, and at this point, the Texans, they're gonna snap this football with like a minute, how much? Like a minute 15 left or so. Stroud's staring at that play clock, and they'll get the snap. They're gonna go to Marks up the middle. The Chiefs will get the stop. Tranquil got in the backfield to make that tackle. Fourth down. So when this field goal is going to go in, there will be about 30 seconds left in the game. Around 30 seconds. And that'll be Kansas City who are out of timeouts and will need to probably come up with a 10-point game. Texans call a timeout with 33 seconds left. So they will kick the field goal, and this will pretty much do it. So for the Texans now, again, I talked about it earlier today. They got the Raiders and Cardinals up next. Both of those teams have a combined 5 wins, so that's probably 2 wins right there. A tough game against the Chargers, and then a lot better of a chance to beat the Colts that last week of the season with Daniel Jones' Achilles injury. So as for Kansas City, tough game against the Chargers. They'll get an easy win against the Titans probably, but then you got the Broncos. So the Kansas City it's split. 2 tough games against division rivals, and then 2 games against teams who are going to be picking in the top 5 of the draft. So, but now with this loss today, most likely it's an uphill battle for the Chiefs going forward. 28-yard kick for Fairbairn to make it an insurmountable deficit. Kick on the way. It's up. It's good. And the Texans lead 20-10 with 30 seconds left. Congratulations to them as they look like they will be improving to 8-5 on the season. Chiefs drop to 6-7. Again, I've seen Chiefs teams that have struggled in the first half of seasons that have looked fraudulent, but this is clearly something different. This year's Chiefs team is just clearly not that good. Again, a multitude of reasons why. But it looks like, at least it looks like it won't be another 1-score loss. So, there's that. But yeah, the Texans are legit, though. Again, that's just definitely not a team I think any of the AFC teams, top teams, want to face in the playoffs with the way that they've been playing, with the way that their defense has been playing lately. That's not a team you want to see. But for Kansas City tonight, obviously, it's going to be the main talking point. Again, a lot of people are going to I feel like a lot of people are going to overlook the Texans and talk about the Chiefs, and obviously that's the big story is the team that's made the AFC Championship game 7 years in a row is now all of a sudden just not going to make the playoffs, and that is a big story and definitely needs to be talked about because, yeah, it's been crazy how this season has unfolded for them. But talking about the Texans, 8-5 about to be on the season, a lot of good wins down the stretch. Very dangerous team going forward. Again, offensive line will probably prevent them from winning the Super Bowl as Tyquan Thornton here on this return trying to make magic happen. He'll get to the 30. But regardless of that, it doesn't matter. They are legit. Their defense is really good. And again, like I said, they can give any team, with that defense, you can give any team hell going forward. 22 seconds left for Kansas City. Mahomes in this offense We'll go at it one more time here to see if they can, I don't know, do something. Not like it really matters. This ain't college football. It's wins and losses in the NFL, not flash and badash, whatever, flash and bedazzle. 1st and 10 from the 30. Kansas City has the Texans all backed up here. Mahomes is going to check this down to Rashee Rice over the middle. Easy completion. And the clock is going to keep running. Mahomes is going to rush up there to spike this football with about 10 seconds left. 11 seconds to be exact. And they'll be at the 45. So, I don't know. Hail Mary. Shoot, this game's over. Congratulations to the Texans, man. Wow, this is just big time win. Sends the Chiefs into, I don't know, win out territory, I guess. I don't even know. I don't think winning out, I don't even know if that would get the job done with the way that how competitive the AFC is looking this year. I think this is it. 2nd and 10, and all sorts of flags have flown in. 10-second runoff, right? So Pole got hit with the false start here. Is that a 10-second runoff or am I tripping? Or am I dumb? Maybe that doesn't apply. I don't know. Whatever. 2nd and 15. And Mahomes over the middle. Pass caught by Gray. He'll go down. There's only 5 seconds left. And that's going to end the game. The ball will be set down, but it doesn't matter. That's the game. So Kansas City falls to under 500, and the Texans' winning ways continue as they beat the Chiefs 20-10 on Sunday Night Football on the road in Arrowhead Stadium. And the Texans' comeback they're officially in full swing and rolling. Again, this game was tied up at one point at 10-10. Chiefs had all the momentum. And there you go. There you go. Texans win 8-5. Chiefs fought at 6-7. Their playoff hopes, I gotta think they're non-existent at this point, right? I mean, you're looking at a team that's, what the last seed in the playoffs right now is Houston at 8-5, who they don't have a tiebreaker over. Because look, you got the one AFC North team. You got 4 division winners. And then obviously tonight's streak officially ends the division streak. The Broncos have that division on lock, I think, at this point. So shout out to Denver and Bo Nix and all them. Now the Chiefs are looking at a playoff picture where, they're the 10th best team in this conference, and they don't have a tiebreaker over a bunch of those teams. Lost to the Chargers. They did beat Baltimore, so they have a tiebreaker over them. But the Jaguars, even if the Jaguars probably win the division, but the Jaguars don't win the division, they don't have a tiebreaker over them either. The Chiefs just haven't been clutch this year. It's that simple. Except for that overtime game against the Colts. Again, they lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Eagles. Lost to the Cowboys. Jags, Broncos, Bills. They've lost a lot of football games. But they've also, the Chiefs still have the talent. They beat the Colts, who are a good team. They beat the Lions, who are obviously still a good team. They've had a tough schedule, and it also just hasn't been their year. So, it is what it is. Yeah, so anyways, anyway, thank y'all for listening. Be sure to click the sub button if you enjoyed what you listen to. And I'll catch y'all in the next one, but tough loss for the Chiefs tonight. That may be all she wrote for them this year. It's been a good run. Maybe they can regroup next year, but for the 2025 Chiefs, I don't think a Super Bowl, an AFC Championship, or even a playoff appearance is in the cards. We'll see, but I just don't see it happening. Catch y'all on the next one. Have a good night, man.